morning. Welcome to another edition of Capper Comparison Picks. If you're new to this channel, this is where I scour the internet for free sports picks and predictions from my favorite sports handicappers and writers, or the ones that are just made available to me. Today we are doing free NCAA basketball picks for Friday, February 28th. Let's go. First, let's start out with yesterday. I went kind of abysmal 1 and 3 because let's see why. Well, Wisconsin upset Michigan 81-74. That was a big shocker. Didn't see that one coming. Temple State. Wichita State, everybody, it was a capper consensus. All the cappers chose Wichita State, and they were favored by 9.5. They barely beat Temple they beat Temple 72-69. Temple stayed within 9.5, easily. The third loss, Purdue favored, they had to cover 6 points. And yeah, I took Indiana with Biggie and Scott from Winners and Winners. Indiana lost 49-57, so Purdue covered 8 points. Finally, the game I did win, I took USC. They way more than covered against Arizona. They won 57-48. That's yesterday's 4 games I put up. Let's put up these 4 and get this board dirty. Okay, first we have the only ranked team on the slate, Dayton, hosting Davidson. Davidson's 15-12, 4-7 on the road. They're Davidson's getting 11 points. Taking Davidson, we have Pick Dogs, Ronald Romanelli. Scores and Stats says the game is going to go 74-70 in favor of Dayton, but 4 points, that's still on the Davidson side. See what I'm saying? 74. The total right now is at 140.5, 74-70. That would bring it over. So Scores and Stats is saying that. S&S is saying over. And finally, Craig Trapp from Bookie Blasters. I like Bookie Blasters. They have the pretty women on there. They have Allie Mo Money, or Plus Money, Honey Burns, and this one, Chelsea Messenger. Chelsea Messenger, she's like the host. Anyway, she had Craig Trapp on there yesterday, and he's taking Davidson plus the points. Over here we have Tony T had his show, Tony's Picks, and he had the capper Joe Duffy on. Joe Duffy taking Dayton. He explained this is a big deal for Dayton today because not only it's a rivalry, but Dick Vitale is going to be putting it on, like calling the game, and it's like a big marquee game. Dayton's a great team. They're ranked, I think, 5th or 3rd, depending where you look at. So he, Joe Duffy had all that to say. Winners and Winers, Nick Rafal, and Pick Dogs Mitch is also taking Dayton. This is a curious one because now we have three cappers here, 3 cappers there. Who are you gonna take? Because this is such a marquee game and Dayton's such a better, look at the records, 26-2. The only 2 losses Dayton has had have both been in overtime, if I'm correct. Davidson does like to keep it close. They played last year was the last time I played. Davidson won by 1 point. But this year I got Dayton. I'm going with these guys. Taking Dayton at home. Big marquee game. Dick Vitale, all that good shit. Dayton. And I'm not touching the total yet. That's up for you guys, but scores and stats says it's going to go over. Moving on, let's go to another 7 o'clock. These are 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Another 7 o'clock game. We have Siena Saints. You know I love my Saints. They have to cover 5.5 points against Marist. Saints are 16-10 straight up, 3-10 on the road. Shitty road team. Against Marist, 7-19, 4-8 at home. Shitty overall team. So shitty road team versus shitty overall team. Okay, we got Stat Salt. Kevin V is taking Siena. Pick Dogs. Ronald Romanelli is taking Siena. And Picks and Parlays, first name only, Zach is taking Siena. Taking Marist with the +5.5 is Winners and Winers, Diamond Dave Shields. Okay, we have Pick Dogs Mitch. Pick Dogs Mitch. And finally, Sports Chat Place, Randy Chambers. So, once again, it's 3 cappers to 3 cappers. I should have did an uneven number, but you know what? When I'm looking this crap up either late last night or early this morning, because the stuff doesn't come out until, you know, I had a small window of time where I have to gather these capper information. But StatSalt also is going to, Kevin V from StatSalt says under 130 and a hook. But you know me, Siena, I'm rolling with the Saints because they're my local home team. Even though they're on the road, they're shitty on the road, but Marist is shitty anywhere. So let's go with that. Red Foxes. Come on, please. Okay. Moving on. We have the Penn Quakers getting 9.5 points against the visiting Yale Bulldogs. Both of these Ivy League teams have been pretty decent on the season. Taking Penn Quakers is from Picks and Parlays, Tony T himself is taking the Quakers. Like I said, they're 12-10, 5-6 away. Okay. Winners and Winers, Bosan Akunpello is taking Yale. Sports Chat Place, Chris Ruffalo is taking Yale. Pick Dogs Mitch is taking Yale. And Stat Salt is taking Yale and saying it's going to go under. So, a big capper presence taking Yale. Only Tony T is the only one taking Penn. You know, Penn, they beat Yale a couple weeks ago in Philadelphia, 69-61. But they've been on a slide. They've lost the last 3 or 4. Yale has won the last 4 of 5. That home loss, I know I put money on Yale, and they lost to Harvard at home. Oh, and that's why I'm going against the grain, going against Yale because of that Harvard loss. And I'm taking the Quakers to stay within the 9.5. Oh, also there's the 69-61. That was the last game they played 2 weeks ago in Philadelphia. That would have been under the 139 and a hook. right? Did I do my math right? Yeah. So, 6, 12. Yeah, 130. Okay. Finally, Washington State. The rivalry game. Washington State versus Washington. Both of them mediocre teams. Washington did beat somebody big this year. Forgot, it's like Baylor. But Oregon. I don't know. They beat somebody good, but let's talk about the now. Let's talk about tonight. Tony T had Joe Duffy on the show. Joe Duffy takes Washington State. Bookie Blasters, that's the Chelsea Messenger girl. Her guy, or the guy on her show, on the show last night, Craig Trapp, is taking Washington State. Man, Chelsea Messenger, she is a good looking woman. And Pick Dogs Mitch. And Winners and Whiners, Nick Rafal, all taking Washington State with the points. Only person taking Washington, this would have been a full capper consensus if it wasn't for Randy Chambers over at Sports Chat Place. So, he's the one spouting about they beat good teams and they're at home. And they have a good home record, 10-6. And look at this away record for Washington State. On the road record, 1-7. So this is my prediction. What I think is going to happen. Washington State, they're going to win, but they're not going to cover the 9.5 points. And in some places you see that as 10 points. So I'm taking State on the road with the points because they're going to lose outright, but I think they're going to keep it within 4 or 5, something like that. Bookie Craig Trapp, he said the game is going to go under, and I'll probably go with that. I'm going to go with Washington State. Also, another note, on February 9th, Washington State beat the Huskies. They were in Washington State. Well, whatever. Home is home for Washington, I guess. But anyway, they beat them 79-67. 79-67. That is 12 points. And that Washington State won. Now they're getting 10 points. Also, that goes over. Anyway, to recap tonight's games, there's a total of 12 games tonight. Here's 4 of them. Okay, we got number 5 Dayton clobbering Davidson by more than 11. Siena beating up on the Red Foxes a little bit more, and they're going to cover 5.5. The Quakers, I'm going against the grain here. I'm going against the capper consensus, going against the picks. I'm siding with Tony T and taking Penn Quakers to stay within 9.5 against Yale because they got me on that stupid Harvard. And that Yale Harvard game just irks me because I sent so many people, Yale's gonna take care of Harvard. They're at home. They're a good team. Oh man, come on Quakers, let's go. And finally, I got Washington State with the points Washington. The Huskies are going to win, but Washington State is going to stay within 9.5. There you go. I'll give you a shot at the board. Thanks for watching, and after work I hope to do a hockey program. And we have a big slate of games tomorrow, but I just want to say thank you for watching. Gather your info, place your bets, cash those tickets. I will see you next episode.